broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Best song ever. I feel like this could potentially top Money Can't Buy You Class.
Yes,
potentially.
Oh, I like it way better than Money Can't Buy You Class.
And that disco skirt she had on and Watch What Happens Live, it was amazing. She looked amazing. You know who else looks amazing though? Kristen Taekman.
Hey!
Hi, Kristen Taekman.
Hi.
The real deal. She is here in studio tonight for our finale recap of the Real Housewives of New York City. I'm Ashley Daniels. You can tweet me at Ashley Daniels. And Kristen, where can we find you on Twitter and Instagram?
At Kristen Taekman.
Okay, that easy enough.
Yep.
Fabulous.
On everything.
She looks beautiful. For anybody who's just listening, obviously you guys would know she looks beautiful because you would have seen her before, but she does, again, look beautiful. And who do I have to my right?
This is Fern Ronay. You can find me on Twitter at Fern Ronay, Ronay.
And this is Lyndsey Wegner. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. And my amazing nails are Kristen's nail polish line, Pop of Color, and I'm wearing Blue Moon.
Yay!
Hey guys, it's Megan Stecher. You can tweet me at Megan Stecher, and I'm wearing Cash Money.
And I'm wearing the King.
And I'm wearing
Rookie.
Thanks, Kristen. And what are you wearing tonight?
Crybaby.
Crybaby.
We
Fabulous.
got all the colors
I
tonight.
love it. We do. Thanks to you. Thank you so much. She sent us the really cool, amazing
Oh
colors.
my gosh, I'm so thrilled that you're wearing it.
Yes.
We got
This is
Manny's
so cool.
right before. It was
Yes.
Yeah, we have to thank.
Shout out to Jenny Lau at Christoph in Beverly Hills. She came to our Manny's for
Yeah,
us.
she was like obsessed with every color.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah,
Good.
I loved them.
Yeah,
We gave her
they're
some,
really cool.
some for the road.
Great price point too. by
Yeah,
the
I know
way.
it's good. It's nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
$8, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get it at rickysnyc.com.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. RickysNYC.com. Awesome.
Love it.
So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
So amazing episode. Amazing way to end the season. This was honestly the top. Like this was probably the best season since like the old days. Like we
sure.
haven't had like this was amazing.
Yeah.
Overall, what's your thought looking back on this season? Just how do you feel it went for you?
No, I think it was good. I think that, I think my friendships got deeper with some of the obvious women like Luann, Carole, and Heather. Despite everything they're going through right now, I'm still really good friends with everybody and kind of a little bit caught in the middle, but we'll get to that later. No, I think it was good. I think it's a bummer that I didn't, make solid friendships with some of the obvious people, but stay tuned for that too. But no, I think overall it was really good. I think a lot of the women were going through a lot of really big issues. And that was hard, but I think it's cool because at the end it's like, the bond of all of us kind of got them through, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's just so great. We always say every week, we're like, we wish we had friends like you, Carole, and Heather. The three of you are just, we've never seen that in any franchise where there's like 2 or 3 people that are just super close that nothing's gonna get. You guys have never fought.
No, well, I did with Heather. Remember, we had a little tiff in the woods in Montana, but other than that,
Yeah,
but I think that's what happens for real friendships.
Yeah, right. But like overall, you guys really have each other's backs. We don't see that. I mean, I guess the closest thing we would say would maybe be Vicky and Tamra from Orange County.
But they've even argued and
But they
screamed.
always get, they do it on an extreme level, but they're always they always have each other's backs no matter what. And I don't know, you 3 could have a great spin-off. I just have to say.
That would be crazy.
That would be hilarious.
It's like you genuinely like each other.
Oh, we're
You're
such
true
good friends.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
That's
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So starting from the beginning of the episode, where we usually begin, the best place to start, Ramona and Sonja. Ramona goes over to Sonja's house, and Ramona is really proud of Sonja from the fashion line. She's just really excited about what she did, and Sonja brings up the whole issue with
Bethenny.
Bethenny. So, I mean, it's, I don't know, kind of seemed a little bit staged. It was like the minute she got off the phone with that person, and then Ramona walked right in. She was like, I have to tell you something. But what did you guys think overall of Ramona and Sonja talking about that situation? Any comments on that?
I thought it was a little strange. She wasn't upset when this was in the post, I believe, but yet she was upset reading about you in the post.
Right? I'm just like the brunt of everything. It makes me crazy.
She wasn't mad that there was, press about a fight at her fashion show, but she was mad about one little comment from you. So
100%.
To say I thought that was a little weird.
Right, because it didn't have anything to do with her, so she didn't care.
Right.
I think it's not about the fashion show. I think it's more about her, her ego or like how her, her.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything to do with her. If anything, it brought press to the fashion show, and people probably learned more about it hearing about Bethenny Frankel fighting with anybody there. So the fact that it was Ramona was just a double whammy. But it seems they'll always have each other's back, Sonja and Ramona, another famous duo, the Ethel and Lucy of the show, I think.
I thought it was interesting to hear Sonja kind of say, Ramona always has these new me parties, and she needs to do something different. Maybe throw like a
masquerade ball.
A masquerade ball instead of a new me or.
Yeah. They did that one year, didn't they? Didn't they all have masquerade masks on one year? I don't know if it was it was like a couple seasons ago. It was at Sonja's, I think.
I can't remember.
They all had masks
for it was Carole's birthday. Some of us had masks
They did
on.
that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Was it black and white? I forget.
It was
black and white.
the Adam and Eve party.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, there was that one too. There was another one a while back. I know it was at Sonja's because I know you go down. It's like the brick, whatever.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Courtyard thing.
Yeah. All right, so then we have Carole going over to Bethenny's. I love them together. Funny dynamic.
It is
really funny.
No, it's nice that they're friends. I think it's awesome.
Did you think going into this that Carole would end up being so close to Bethenny?
I didn't really, but you kind of saw it happening, and I think that they have a lot in common, and I think it's a natural fit, so I think it's good.
Do you think Carole's just the type that gets along with everybody? That she just can blend with anybody?
I definitely think so, but I don't think Carole likes everybody.
Yeah.
So I think Carole and Bethenny both see something in each other, and they kind of like gravitate towards that. Yeah.
Right. What do you think it was about Carole that she didn't see in you, for instance, in the beginning? Because you're both very sweet. You're both very open.
You mean between Bethenny, Carole, and
Bethenny opened up to Carole so easily, but with you and with Heather, it was a little more of a difficult. I don't understand why it was so difficult.
I don't either. I gotta tell you, I think we really just got off to the wrong foot from the get-go, and I mean that was pretty obvious. And we even said that at one point. We were like, she's like a really closed person, and I'm a really open one. Like I just assume everybody's like easygoing until there's an issue, and she kind of just assumes the opposite. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the reunion holds. I wish I could come back next week.
We wish that too. Maybe you could call in.
I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be here next week, so maybe.
Could you come?
Yeah,
we would love
actually.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
be
because
awesome.
there's so much I want to tell you, but maybe I just come back next week.
That would be amazing.
I'm out here till the 1st, so I'm just going to keep coming back.
We
here she is again.
We have such a problem with that. We'd have to discuss it and let you know. Maybe.
Yeah, but no, I don't know what it was. I really don't. I really don't. And I'm like, I feel like I kind of greet people in general with very open arms, and I'm like, awesome, like you're back. We have so much in common, I think. And then it just kind of kept getting shut down.
Right.
And that's that, really, right? And then you saw what happened tonight again.
Of course. Yeah, Carole had it. Carole had it easier than everybody else in the beginning. She, for some reason, just was able to get in with Bethenny, and once you're in with Bethenny, I think you're in.
Yeah, 100%,
but we saw Bethenny's place. It was beautiful.
Isn't it amazing?
Beautiful. Now, do you know where that is in conjunction to like where? Because we know where you are. You're more.
I'm in Tribeca.
Yeah, right.
She's in Soho.
Oh, that's Soho. Okay, so
and walking distance to Carole. Actually, apparently they walk to each other's houses all the time, which is sweet.
Okay,
yeah, they're little like
nice.
BFFs.
Tribeca and Soho, are they far from each other?
No, not really. Not at all.
Okay. Because Tribeca is like the young hip part now, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Soho's kind of like that too, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
The place was beautiful though.
Wasn't
We all paused it.
Oh,
Just took it in.
Her daughter's
Bryn's
room. But wasn't it like a deja vu though? Like, didn't you guys like?
It
was
reminded
it
us-
crazy?
Reminded me of the last one. A lot.
Her last place, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot like that.
Well, girls knows what she likes.
I know.
Keeps it simple.
Yeah.
Not
At least she's
white.
not homeless anymore.
I
That's
know.
for sure.
This was a little bit. I shouldn't to say this is cozy is so dumb because it's not. It's huge, but I mean it's a little bit cozier than the last place. The last place was
smaller,
enormous. She was
yeah.
rollerblading in it. I mean, this was a
I
little
forgot
bit.
about that.
Remember?
It was roller skating.
Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, roller girl. Exactly, roller girl. Thank God we have you. See, these are the moments.
It's so funny.
Perfect. But yeah, she was roller skating, and but her bedroom's beautiful. It's smaller, but Bryn's room's adorable,
Gorgeous,
cute. I loved it, and she seems like she's gonna stay there for a while. It must be really hard putting that much time and effort into a place, building it, and then not being able to be there and have to make a new one. Like that's a lot. I mean,
Little side note: do you remember seeing the apple in the courtyard? Did you see that?
On the court. No.
Did they not show that?
No.
Oh, that was on the cut that I got. She has like this apple. Like there's a courtyard within the apartment, and there's an apple in it. Like a big. Like you know how
we
people
saw
have
she has the
sculptures?
outside. She said she didn't have the outside last time.
Oh yeah. So
Okay,
she has an apple in the courtyard.
She does.
Yeah.
How cool.
Oh, they cut that out.
Oh my gosh, we didn't see that. No.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, you know how people have these weird sculptures and stuff? But
Yes.
it's really cool. Like they pan to like through a window, and there was like this really pretty red
Why
apple.
did they cut that?
Like the apple behind you. Yeah, so
That's
neat.
cute. That's really nice.
Shed. Why?
I know.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe we missed it. Maybe you never know.
Somebody has to tweet us and let us know if that was in tonight.
Please do. Please let us know. But it was beautiful, and Carole was staging it, and then Carole. It was funny. Carole's like, your neighbor's really cute. She's like, really? What's he like? She's like, he's 3 months old. She's like,
She said, is he married?
Yeah, is he
Like,
married?
he's
Yeah.
2 months old.
Yeah. But that's just, they're fun. It looks like you get a different side of Bethenny when she's around Carole. A lighter, more
Which
fun
is nice
side.
to see.
It
I like
is,
seeing that side of her. Yeah.
Absolutely. So then we have Dorinda and John's lunch. I love their lunches. Anybody point out what the difference between this lunch and every other lunch was?
He was focusing on her and not answering phone calls. And
Yeah, that's part of it. Anybody pick up on it?
The moving in with me? The keys?
No.
Wait, the fighting? Oh no, they fight every lunch.
So usually he orders everything. She ordered all the food today, and I was like, "Girl's got it." She, last time, remember, she wanted to order. She just like sat there and he picked out everything they were going to eat. So I noticed it was different this time. I'm like, something's
interesting.
changed, and she said he's more needy. So it looks like the tables have kind of turned a little bit.
maybe she's gained a little power and a little bit of comfortability and confidence and able to kind of stand up. And the women, maybe all of you guys are kind of giving her the ability to kind of just be more open and about her feelings with him. And I think that trip to London for her was huge.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he obviously called the security. He got nervous about her being away. So obviously he's feeling a little bit insecure. Now, would Josh ever?
No, hell no. Josh would be like, awesome, she's gone for 4 days. And I would be the same way. But it's different. They're dating, for sure. Yeah.
Right. What is your, if you don't mind saying, overall impression of him? I mean, obviously we know we had that little bit awkward dance, and that was obviously.
I think that was the last time I was here.
That was the last time you were here. But since then.
Listen, you meet him in person. He's Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. He's a great guy. He does treat Dorinda like gold.
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad to say about him. I've moved on past that whole thing. I just, watching that lunch myself, it's uncomfortable to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just uncomfortable to me to watch that. 1 minute it's like, oh my gosh, they're happily ever after, and then 3 seconds later it's like these insane fights and arguments in public. It's weird to me, especially that they're just dating and they haven't even been together that long. You just wonder like what's going on there. I wrote about it in my blog tonight.
You did?
I
Okay,
said
ready? Check out her blog on what's the website?
Bravo.com.
Just Bravo.com, right? Mm-hmm. Is there a quicker way to get to the blogs like / Kristen Taekman or anything like that?
Maybe. I don't actually know.
I don't know because
I think it's probably like up. I would imagine the show that airs that night, those blogs are up.
Right, yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I'll post it later tonight too. But yeah, I wrote about that tonight. It was kind of like disturbing to me. Like it was just weird to watch.
So do you think that her trip to London maybe was the reason why?
It could
that she kind of changed a little bit. She seemed like she had a little more of an upper hand on this lunch.
I definitely think she got closure, a lot of closure going there. And I think it was so nice to see Carole help her through that. That was nice.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love their bonding.
You can't really, nobody else can really relate to that unless you've gone through it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That was a really, really nice seeing them together.
Well, speaking of a quick way to get around town, best way to get around town in LA is Mazda. Guys,
no, that was good. That was really good.
Really
sorry,
good.
That actually was really good. I apologize.
Let's thank our sponsor. Our sponsor tonight is Mazda. They bring
Thank
you guys AfterBuzz for free, so you guys can watch us, see Kristen, enjoy all the other amazing AfterBuzz shows here at AfterBuzz TV and on YouTube and iTunes and SoundCloud and all the other venues you can find us at. So our sponsor today, Mazda. Does driving matter to you? Driving with the windows down, the wind blowing through your hair, the smell of pine trees and fresh asphalt. You look forward to these moments when it's just you and the road, no distractions, handling every curve, and feeling every nuance in the road. So ask yourself, does driving matter to you? If it does, we build cars just for you, because to us, driving matters. Mazda. So while we're getting around LA, while Kristen's making her way around LA and hopefully coming back to visit us here at next week.
Yes. Thank you for that, Lyndsey.
You're welcome.
So anybody want to comment anything about John or the proposal situation?
I think you're right. Like there are some couples that you watch and I just love watching them.
Yeah.
But there are a couple that I watch and I just feel so uncomfortable. But I'm glad you said that he treats her like gold, because that's all that matters. Like if he adores her.
Did you notice how he'll pull out the seat for her at restaurants? And didn't it one lunch or dinner he wanted to make sure she faced the right way, which I thought was really sweet.
Good point.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. He's Armenian. Armenians are very they're very like they're very old fashioned. A lot of them like to, pull the chair like you said. Very gentlemanlike. Yeah. Interesting. That was a good point.
But then it turns. It's so strange.
It's very uncomfortable.
I don't know. What do you think the current situation is with her daughter and John, relationship-wise? What was her name? Do you guys remember?
Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah. I think that didn't she touch on one of the last episodes that they were, or at that dinner? I think that they made it seem like they were kind of working towards things. So I think it's getting better. I think they're going in the right direction, which is good. Yeah.
And they're not engaged. John and Dorinda aren't engaged.
They are not, as we found out in the very end, which was a little bit interesting. I don't know if that will ever happen. Do you guys think you'll ever see an engagement or a wedding? Just prediction-wise. I don't think I ever see that happening, but no.
Not between them.
Yeah. I don't think you need it.
No.
I think they're fine. They're working their way through. They obviously have something that attracts one another to each other. So there's a lot of ups and downs, but overall she seems happy and he seems happy, so good for them. All right, so then we have Sonja, and Sonja says to Ramona that Kristen had an interview at her fashion show. This is when she brings up the interview. Anybody who hasn't seen the episode, please watch it.
When they're at the party, for Ramona's party.
Yes. So,
but the interview took place at Sonja's fashion show.
Right.
The red carpet for her fashion show.
Right. So Sonja first tells Ramona this. Where did she tell Ramona this? I don't have it in my notes, but she told her that.
I think it wasn't just at the bar at Ramona's New Beginnings party. Yeah. I think that's where the whole thing came about.
Yeah.
First thing. She kind of
so I'm not skipping anything, huh? This is really just went to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the show, the episode was all about the party.
Thinking, where's the other? Okay, so literally we go to the party from this point on. So this is basically the entire episode. And the first thing is Sonja does. First of all, I think she's wearing her own line of clothing. It seemed that way, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
it is really pretty, actually. On the more expensive side, but I think it's probably because the quality is better quality.
Yeah.
But
and I think it's also made to order too, which I think is a bit more expensive at this point.
It is beautiful though. That's something like that hat and everything. It's definitely very Sonja.
The back was really pretty and
really
elegant.
Pretty. Yeah. So Sonja says to Ramona that Kristen had the interview at the fashion show and that she said that her toaster oven didn't come out yet. Watching that, what do you feel like as you seeing somebody have a complete misconception of a situation that you were in that did not happen?
I just feel like it's so upsetting to me. So you're at this party, you're thinking it's like a new beginnings for everybody. I'm kind of thinking I'm walking into this party thinking I'm at a good place with everyone. You're at these events, you're at these parties. I just came from the Ella Tahari show for Pop of Color, so I was on cloud 9. We go to Sonja's thing, I'm there, I'm ready to support her, and again, you have to read my blog tonight, but it was like or maybe it was last week, you walk into her events and you're on a red carpet. Like, it's crazy. Like, imagine like walking in a door to anywhere and like there's a camera in your face. So you're like, okay, like you adjust yourself. Like, I gave someone my coat, my purse, or I held onto my purse. But, I go through and I do the pictures and this guy comes up and he says to me, quote, he's like, hey, looks like you've had a really good fashion week. And I was kind of like, oh, wow. He goes, I've been following you on social media. And I was like, wow. And it was the New York Post. I get the Post religiously. It's the New York Post.
Right.
That's like Vogue.
Exactly. No, of course. This is a very trusted media source.
Yeah, of course. I was so excited. So he doesn't ask me a thing about Sonja. Nothing. And I just came from my Pop of Color, Ella Tahari. So and he's asking me all these questions. He asks me about it. So I like show him the bottle. I take a picture and he's writing this article and I'm excited. It's about me and all this stuff. And of course it mentions where Sonja's fashion show was, Sonja Morgan Fashions, her brand, all this stuff. But no one had seen, she's forgetting that no one's seen the collection. No one,
exactly.
You guys saw the whole season. Like no one saw any of the clothing. Mm-hmm. So how can I comment about the clothing?
Right.
I said I was happy to be there. And then everybody asks about the toaster oven. She's been on Watch What Happens Live. She talks about the toaster oven. She talks about it having 3 different trays and how you can toast kale. Did anyone remember seeing
Yeah.
that?
We all talked about the toaster oven all last season. It was Toastergate all season. Literally Toastergate.
Or it wasn't even last season. It was the season before where Heather did that whole branding strategy.
It's been years that we've been talking about Toastergate, and that has honestly been, if anything, it's been great for her.
Yes,
Keeps her in the press. And
I think it's fun and it's quirky and it's so
hilarious.
So I didn't.
Awesome.
Did you get the memo about not talking about the toaster? Nope. I didn't.
No.
Nope. Since when is it like so taboo? And I'm sitting there at this party having an out-of-body experience because I'm literally looking around the room going like, am I being punked? Like, is she really upset with me for the guy mentioning her toaster oven and myself commenting? And the whole thing that she said was, even Ramona came up to me afterwards and she's like, you shouldn't talk about the toaster oven.
Wait, what?
What are you supposed to say if someone asked you specifically about it?
Oh, she gave me a bunch of stuff to say. Like, I was supposed to, like, divert and, like, talk about something else.
But why weren't you
right
told that? See, we're all, as hosts, we're told, especially before red carpets, from every publicist, please don't mention da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention da-da-da-da-da.
I mean...
But you're not told what to do. It's not your fault, Matt. It's like you're thrown under the bus for no reason.
God. It was crazy. So how do you think I feel? And then I'm sitting there trying to defend myself over all of this. And it was like... And she didn't even read the article at that point. That's the best part.
That's the worst.
Oh,
I
didn't read it. I didn't read it.
Someone read it to her.
Right. She just jumped to conclusions, I think.
100%.
And that's sad because she's actually very understanding. She seems to be very understanding at times. And she seems like the first to kind of just wash things away, like, oh, right, well, whatever. But like in this case, it was really, really bothered her. And how did you feel when she ran? So Bethenny comes in. Back to the New Beginnings party. Bethenny comes into the party and she says she puts her jacket down or whatever, and then she's literally jumped at by Ramona, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
After that situation happens, going back to what Kristen was just talking about, she says, Sonja goes up to Bethenny and says, just like you had a problem with her, with the media, I had a problem with her too. She says she doesn't know what she's saying, but clearly she did this twice now or whatever. Yeah. Any comments on that? Because that's, I mean, obviously, once again, it's just, it's kind of sad because now there's Bethenny who was probably, doing better with you. And then it's like, 100%. Okay, wait, why would you? She kind of like sabotaged that, if anything.
My God. I had like 4 steps ahead and then took like 7 back within like 20 minutes. I was like, I worked so hard to like get in a good place with everybody and now I'm back to square one. But it's just so funny because, Bethenny's obviously been doing it for years. Sonja's been doing it for years. Like just it meaning, I don't know, like just all the press stuff and all these major events and all this stuff. Like I'm still sort of new to that. And like, Bethenny was saying too, at the diamond decorating party or the jean decorating party, she was saying like, you've been doing this for years, you've been modeling. And it's like, it's not the same thing. And, it's just so interesting to me because in both situations, I still don't think I said anything that bad. You can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you didn't.
And I wish she'd come out with a darn toaster oven.
By the way,
does anybody else think this is crazy?
No, it's crazy. And the low blows that you got tonight, brain dead,
yeah,
or that
awesome.
you're off, you're done, your prime is over with the modeling, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like blow after blow.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
you haven't, and you never returned one thing back to them. You didn't stoop to their level at all. So I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Because I would, I think we all would be very frustrated and we would jump at that.
Yeah.
So it's unfair. And so anyways, like we say, obviously Bethenny is now, maybe I'm sure in her head, she's like, whoa, maybe I was right or whatever that is. And you're over there, you have no idea what's going on.
None.
No one, it's so aggravating that has
and then
to happen.
It's like, when I approach them all about it, it's just like, it just sucks when it's like, okay, well, you had no problem talking about me over at the bar 5 minutes ago, but like I confront you to your face and you can't talk to me about it. Like that's where I just don't get it. And that's happened to me how many times this season? So like, what else can you do?
Right.
Like how many times are you going to go right to the source just to be like, hey, instead of like everybody talking about this behind our backs, like we're right here face to face and nothing.
And I have to commend the production company on what they do, Shed, because they give us so much at, like, we're able to see what's going on in every corner.
Yeah,
and
great.
They do it so effortlessly, and that's not easy to do. We get the whole story from everybody, and nothing gets confusing. And there's 8. This is like the most housewives of any show.
Yeah.
8 housewives.
No, it's
so
a lot.
It's really, really great that we get to keep everything.
I'm glad they showed the clip of him asking you the question.
Me too, let me tell you. I know. And it was so awesome because I remember they told me that early on. They're like, no, we have him interviewing you.
Awesome.
And I was like, yes.
That's great. That's
so
awesome.
many times I'm like, I want to see when it happens.
I'm like, I'm not crazy.
And I know it's difficult, but obviously you can't say like it's on the clip, but like how easy would life be if like in every situation you'd be like, it's gonna be on camera. trash. Don't I can prove it to you. You can't do that, obviously.
But see, in this situation too, it's not like it was such a horrible thing. It's not like, you know, like I accused her of something insane. It's like, we're talking about a toaster oven. Like, give me a break.
Right.
And her not getting the brunt, like, the whole article was about me at her event, but I don't have control over that. I don't have control about the questions he asks, or, you know, yes, I can control what I say, but I still don't think I said anything that bad.
Right. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah.
Going back to Bethenny and Ramona, I want to know what you guys thought of that situation. Part 2 of Ramona versus Bethenny.
That drove me nuts because Ramona approaches Bethenny and apologizes, and Bethenny goes, okay, just wait. What are you apologizing for? And then she stops and she starts to run away because she doesn't even know what she's apologizing for. She's just apologizing to apologize. Worst way to apologize is apologizing when you don't even know what you're apologizing for. It's not genuine.
Yep, it's true. I know. Lyndsey gets extremely frustrated. We all do, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. And it's like, and you know, even at the point where she tried to high five. So for anybody who hasn't seen it, please watch it, obviously, but then come back and listen to this. So we won't give out too much. But Bethenny tries to once again get through to Ramona and explain to her that just because, you know, you're nice, just because she knows that deep down she has a good heart, doesn't excuse her over and over again doing the things she does. And it's like, it's just so wishy-washy for her. She's like, give me an hour, attack me in an hour, just, you know, Bethenny, leave me alone for 1 hour. And it just puts Bethenny in this light where it's like, she responds really well, but I don't know what I would say in that situation, because all of a sudden you do kind of look like the bad one, like the one who's the nuisance, like she's kind of turning the tables, like you're the annoying one or whatever. How did you guys think that how did Bethenny handle it to all of you? Anybody?
I honestly have to say, I thought that this was another time that Bethenny, it seemed like the wrong time to be approaching this with Ramona. I guess there's never a good time to talk to Ramona. I feel like Bethenny, this is the 3rd or 4th case I've seen over the season, just like out of nowhere. It's like, I just have to talk about this right now. I'm going to explode. Kind of is how it seems like she's just so wound up and like, right now, let's solve it. It almost seemed a little harsh. This was supposed to be Ramona's big night. I know Bethenny didn't agree with it being Ramona's big night and the name of the party and the theme of the party and whatever the heck's going on. I don't know why.
Carole said it's like new beginnings. It's like new.
She's like a butterfly coming out of her cocoon, whatever it was.
Again.
Yeah, whatever it was. It just seemed a little ill-timed, but I think Bethenny is just like, she has to get it out of her system and it has to be dealt with, and let's get it over with. And once you apologize for the 15th time, I'm fine with it. Let's hug and we're done. It was awkward to me when she all of a sudden was like, okay, now we're done talking about it. This is fine.
Right.
I don't know.
I love when she said you're a 4-year-old. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
A 4-year-old. She's like, no, I'm a 6-year-old.
I know. Totally. That was so funny. No, but I think we're all kind of forgetting what Bethenny was, what Ramona accused Bethenny of. I mean, Bethenny didn't cheat on this person. Like, that's really messed up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I'm getting all this grief from everybody about talking about a toaster oven to someone who's asking me a question in a press line at her party, at Sonja's party, when, I mean, Ramona literally just threw out there that Bethenny cheated on this relationship, which was not true at all.
Exactly.
So that's,
and no one's giving her trouble about it.
But it's like Ramona just throws that out there like it's no big deal, and like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it now. But I actually agreed with Bethenny here. I would have beelined to her too and been like, I'm dealing with this head on. Like, you've got to stop saying this. It's not true, and this is not okay. Again, it's not okay.
Why do you think Ramona gets away with it in a sense? Because even like with Sonja, she always finds a way. Everybody forgives Ramona.
All the women said that though today. They said we can't stay mad at her.
Yeah,
we just can't stay mad at her. What is it about her?
Yeah, what is it?
She's, you know, she's kind of intimidating because she just has this way about her and this aura where, I don't know, she almost just like fools you. It's like she throws this like weird wool over her eyes, or your eyes, and she kind of, it's like she puts you in a trance or something. It's so weird. You know, it's like you're so upset and you're angry, but then she'll do something really nice and then you're like, I'm like, oh.
Yes.
And then obviously what she's going through right now, like the women really can't hate her. But I've never thought it was okay. I've always said that I love to hate her, you know?
Didn't Bethenny say during the one where you guys all threw your idea, I think, put the water on her for the didn't Bethenny say like, well, when Ramona does something, she's just like so nice after that you can't remember why you were mad, because she's just like, you know, overall, and like Bethenny says, overall she's not a bad person.
Yeah.
It's just you either have to be friends with her and just accept that, because I don't think it's ever going to change at this point.
Ever. I mean, what about the whole dress stealing thing?
That was
that's not okay too.
Twice, right?
Yes, there's proof. Like there's proof in her Instagram Instagram that she was wearing this dress, and she continues to lie about it, and she won't admit that she took the dress.
And here's the thing: at the end of the day, I mean, she has the money to buy 1,000 Hervé Legers, not just from the show, from what she had, like the jewelry, everything. Yeah. So it's weird. That's weird. It's not like someone who's like really needy, and because I don't think Bethenny would ever say anything if it was somebody that was like her friend that just didn't really have much. She'd be like, I'm not gonna call her out on it, but there's a girl who can have thousands of them. Did you guys agree last week? I don't think we really agreed how she approached to Ramona about in response to the article. She kind of kept bringing up the dress, which didn't really have anything to do with the situation regarding Ramona saying she was a cheater, but it just seemed like everything was built up inside of her, and she kept bringing it up. Did you think that overall Bethenny handled that situation from last episode? We didn't really get into that, but I'm just curious how you guys felt that she handled it. Because today, again, she's bringing up the title of New Beginnings, which doesn't really have anything to do with
I think last week we were like, forget about the dress. Like what she said about your cheating on your first husband is horrible, and that's the essence of what was she really had a right to be mad about.
Yeah, she was built up.
I think it wasn't probably the right venue for Bethenny to bring all this up right at the party, but what she was saying, I had to agree with that. Don't have a new beginnings party if you're not going to change. Yeah. Which is the point. Right. And she's just never going to change.
Or deal with the other stuff, and then you can move to the new beginning. Right. Like, let's just get this out really quick, and then we can do the new beginnings.
Exactly. I bring it up because when you see Heather in the other corner, I think she's telling Carole or somebody, she's like, well, Bethenny's upset right now because of the New Beginnings title. I don't think Heather knew exactly why Bethenny was upset. They must have been seeing the fight from a distance. That's the only reason I bring it up, is because I was wondering at that time, did they actually know why they were fighting, or did they just assume Bethenny came in and was like, why is this a title for New Beginnings? Like, why is your party about new beginnings?
Well, let's remember, too, that Ramona said back in the day she would never have apologized. She said now she does apologize. This is new for her.
She's totally different now.
Yeah. But even if she's not apologizing the right way, I guess getting a fake apology, is that better than no apology? I would say no. Then I don't want it. Don't give it to me.
It's a baby step in the right direction.
But it's at least a step that she realizes she's maybe making some concession towards it. It's so horrible. I can't with her about that.
I can't either.
I just thought that Bethenny's impression of her to her face was hilarious.
I know,
She's like, and I adore you, and I'm sorry. Like,
it was great. Really good. It was really good, actually.
I always say that now because she says that. She's
I'm sincerely sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the best. Going from this crazy dramatic situation to one that's a little less dramatic but still pretty difficult to understand. We see Luann in the corner kind of talking about Adam, or just talking about Adam and Carole, and you see Carole so happy. And so for me, I just see a woman who just came back from London. If I were Luann, I would be like that is not an easy situation what she just went through. Bringing the urn back, oh, okay, we were all trying to figure out how you can get that urn on the plane. Yeah. And then sit for 15 hours on a plane knowing that's your dead husband's urn next to you. She's going through so much. And then you see her happy. Why say anything? Yeah. It's just not enough to start getting upset. Did you guys agree with Luann? Obviously, I'm going to go. You did not agree, obviously. But did you guys, anybody have any comments about Luann getting that upset at this point? Because now it's been a while that they're dating. She's still pretty upset.
Yeah, honestly, to me, it seemed contrived, like her trying to stay relevant on the show. And to be honest, we haven't seen her in the past few episodes much at all.
Nope.
So if I think there were 2 weeks in a row she wasn't even on at all. So it just seemed contrived to me. Like she was trying to stay in the mix and stay in a little side argument, and I don't know. Get over it. It's been since week 1, basically, that this has been going on.
If they weren't together anymore, then maybe I'd understand a little bit of her frustration. They're still together and they're happy.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I think that's the hardest thing about it. It's I really don't get it. I mean, I can see a tiny bit of, Luann coming out saying, that he doesn't come around as much anymore. He's not as good friends with her son anymore. I get that that's kind of hard because I think Adam was a big part of her family life for a while, and especially dating her niece. But I don't think there was any crossover in that relationship, and I think they'd broken up some time before, didn't they? It wasn't weeks. It was a while, significant amount of time. Yeah. And I just feel like Carole said, it's you don't choose who you fall in love with, and and I think it's a really interesting situation because what I always thought, and I think what I wrote in my blog early on in the season was, it's an awkward situation because it's anybody who's single and dating somebody, it's you don't want to the guy's sitting there and it's you've literally just dating and you don't want to announce it to everybody because you don't really know what's happening, and then what if you put it out there and make a big stink about it, and then nothing, the relationship kind of fizzles out? So I really understood where Carole was coming from.
Yes.
You know, and it's like she kind of wanted to keep it for herself, and she's so private anyway, right, Carole?
Yeah, she is. You know, definitely.
And then I think she kind of, you know, mentioned it at the right time, but I don't know, it was weird. It was like, you know, Luann tried to make it seem like, you know, he was still talking to the niece, and that was a little weird.
Yes, it was.
Awkward for Carole. That's hard.
It's not fair, I think, overall, that the digs will always be, it seems, they will always have something to do with Adam when you want to dig Carole.
Yeah.
Like Ramona did a dig. She's like, you're dating, whatever she said a few weeks ago on vacation, it was a dig about Adam. And, and it's just, I don't think she'll ever be able to escape that, because that's really the only thing they have that they can keep saying about Carole, is that, oh, he's younger. But at the end of the day, she seems like one of the happiest ones. I mean, she's super happy.
And he's 29.
She's young and happy.
It's not like he's 22.
That's what I was
It's a
thinking
huge
too.
difference.
Exactly.
She's super happy. I mean, other than obviously you guys being married. I mean, you and Heather. Everybody else is kind of like in this like awkward place where they don't have anybody, or they do, or they're just confused, or whatever it is. But and she's happy, so who cares how old he is? And he's sweet. He's there. Listen, he shows up at all these things. I'm sure the last thing he wants to do is be on Real Housewives of New York City. 100%. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
29.
29. Sorry, whatever. He's so cute. Whatever. 29.
Yeah.
I mean, what guy? He's doing that for her.
Yeah.
What's he getting? I mean,
and knows he's going to have to technically deal kind of with the wrath of Luann too at these events, and run into her where that's awkward for him as well.
Right, exactly.
And she is being hypocritical when she is sleeping with younger men, and then like, well, at least I'm not dating them. Well,
I know that's weird.
So that makes you right and Carole wrong.
I know.
That's an example for your daughter. But if you're saying this bad thing about Carole, well, what are you doing?
Right.
How did Noelle get brought into it? Luann's son. Something about the 21-year-old or something?
All of the women kind of do that. Remember the reunions? Sonia and Ramona are always like, oh, my daughter. Yes. And I'm like, newsflash? Like,
you all have kids.
Your daughter's not in diapers.
Yeah,
like, your daughter
exactly.
knows what's up. Like, your daughter knows what happens at night. Your daughter knows what happens when you go out. Like, come on. Like,
you're on a show.
You're putting it all out there.
Yeah.
The Italian men or whatever, a couple seasons ago that Luann had, that she brought in.
The pirate?
The pirate. No, but she said it was Italians
The Johnny
or something.
Depp lookalike?
No, he was the pirate, but didn't she say they were Italians at the beginning and then it was changed? Whatever it was. It was originally, I had some Italian friends come over.
Yeah.
And then
yes,
the pirate.
yes.
Whatever that was. I mean, she very easily could just do what she has to do and leave.
Yeah.
So these are situations she's brought herself into.
Yes.
Is there anything we were missing from the show a few weeks ago when Heather walks in and that guy's naked? Is there anything editing wise that maybe we didn't get? Like, did you see the guy at all? Like,
no.
So, okay.
So, in the downstairs bathroom, I used that. It was like, the house bathroom downstairs. After breakfast, I went in there and, TMI, but I sit down to pee and there was like men's socks. I was like, ew. And then he like kicked back in the morning and woke up really early, and like Heather had all these green juices shipped down, and he like kicked back and like helped himself to stuff in the fridge, was like reading a magazine, and then I think like he knew that the cameras were coming, so he got out of there quick. The whole thing was so weird. It was like, I could go on and on about that. It was so 50-50 about the whole thing. Like, I think, Heather, I didn't see the guy. Like, if that was me and I walked into it, I would have just been freaked out and shocked.
It's early and naked guy.
Yeah, and it's just weird. It's like, especially when I think 101 when you're dating, and it's like, I haven't dated in a very long time, but like, even I know, like, you got to keep that guy to yourself, man. Like, you can't just be like, go upstairs somewhere, there's an empty room. Like, Lord knows how many doors he opened up before he found the right room, Like, that's just weird.
I know.
I could go on and on. It's a small island. They all knew that we were filming there. Like, you don't just bring home some random guy from a bar.
We were wondering that because one of the things that I mentioned, and I think I got a little heat for it, but I was saying, does it make it any easier or less scary when you find a guy, when you know that there are, because I would think that producers or whatever, they're probably sleeping in the same house, right?
No.
They're not.
Nobody's there with us.
Okay.
It's
So they
just
left
us.
at a certain time and came back in the morning?
Yeah.
So you were open.
No, we're
you were
the girls
legit alone.
You guys
Yeah.
are alone. Okay. Because now, do you know the same
There was
camera
the
people?
house guy. Yeah.
Okay, so they're always
awesome.
the same.
Yes.
Okay. Because they were like, oh, they're strange. I got heat. Like, oh, they're strangers. I'm like, no, they're probably the same people that they see all the time.
It's a family, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, people always say that. But there was the house guy. I'm forgetting his name. But remember when I spoke to him and then I told the girls what he told me? Mm-hmm. So he was there because he has to look after it. But he kind of like left late and then sleeps somewhere else and came back early in the morning.
That's a lot
because it's the
scary.
house manager. He looks after the property. He helps get breakfast set and all that stuff.
And then how did he know that the men were married? They had wedding rings on?
No, because he spoke to them the night before and he went out with the girls. So like he was also kind of looking after them that night.
Yes.
I went home, but that's not a surprise to anybody.
We all went to. We're all like grannies.
Yeah, I'm just like, good night.
It was funny though, Dorinda, when she came downstairs with the leopard bathing suit, she's like, I don't have my contacts. And they're like, did you see a guy? I don't have my contacts. Like, what are you... That doesn't mean you didn't see the guy.
Just avoiding it.
It was like the best thing ever. We just have to bring up other episodes because, of course, we have you here, so it gets exciting. Yeah. All right, so then we have, going back to this episode, Sonja obviously confronts you, and we see you defend yourself, obviously, and you did a great job at that, and you show the news article, which we had just talked about. She obviously never saw it.
Yeah.
She was reading kind of the first time.
Exactly.
Any comments on, now that you're watching it and you're looking back, would you have changed anything you said? Would you have handled it differently? I personally think you handled it great.
I think it was just watching it back, it was so frustrating because I just remember, you hate to defend yourself when you don't need defending, but when you're dealing with someone, that I'm just going to go back to the whole delusional thing, like, you're just like literally talking to a wall. It's like, what are we even arguing about? You don't know. Right. It's like around and around. And at that point, I think what really upset me about that whole thing, which is why I really wanted her to know that I didn't say anything bad, was because we were in such a good place. I totally like apologized to her. I was so happy for her. I thought more than anybody, it was like, awesome. And how many times were we at a dinner table and she wasn't there and I was the only one that defended her? True. Time and time again. Heather was like, what are you apologizing to her for? Or, they would like bash her for like whatever she had going on, with the clothing line or the meetings that she had or the Latina magazine cover. Yes. I was like, no, but it's beautiful. And Heather was just like, that's not a big deal. I'm like, Heather, be nice. This is a big deal. And here she is, turning around and attacking me for the dumbest thing ever.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, that sucked.
That does suck.
It's like, I just couldn't believe we were back to that point.
I'm sure she sees this and knows, obviously, now that she was in the wrong. And I'm sure.
Which is why I can't wait to come back next week.
Yeah, I really hope you do. Yeah, please. This is going to be amazing. So, and we quickly, guys, when you're watching the episode, replay Dorinda when she's talking about Bethenny comments. She's like, did she speak Swahili? What dialogue? It was really funny. I think she had a couple too many, or she just messed up her words, but it was funny. Anything else you guys wanted to add to this episode? Obviously, we know at the very end, we get some updates on everybody, and
Luann's on the outs with everyone, it seems.
Yes, yeah. Lyndsey, good point with that. When you saw that, you kind of, yeah.
All the little things were saying they're not friends with Luann, or Luann's not driving with them, or so it's just.
Yeah, Heather's little caption at the end said that. That was hard to see. It's hard to see, isn't it?
Heather did tell Bethenny, I think we have the whole drive-by therapy session. Yes. Very funny. Heather goes up to Bethenny and says, you wouldn't want to be a bitch, and you don't want to be this. And she was just really trying to just mend things, but I think it was...
You choose to be a bitch or something.
Yeah. It was funny.
I was like, whoa, Heather wore her big girl
panties.
It
was awesome.
It's like, they must be like on the friendly side now that she feels comfortable saying that to her. But
yeah, I think they're definitely on a better page. Do you know... You can't comment on that, can you?
No, I think they are. I think what you see is what you get with that. Yeah, for sure.
They seem like they're in a better place.
Well, you saw the whole couch situation. Oh, I was going to say I thought they sat next to each other on the couch. No, they didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. No,
but still, close enough.
Yeah, we can't wait for the couch. That's our favorite thing to see who sits with who. Oh my God, so exciting. So Ramona's toast ends the episode, the finale of Real Housewives, and it's nice to see everybody together at the end and smiling, regardless of what happened. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, no, definitely.
There's hope. Yes. But there's going to be lots of drama in the finale. So let's get into some predictions for the finale, for the reunion, excuse me.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You can't predict, because you'll win.
I want to.
I predict you'll be right. Megan, predictions for the reunion.
Okay, I want to say I feel like Luann's going to come out swinging because I think she's going to have felt a little marginalized and she didn't see herself a lot in the second half of the season. So let me predict that.
Good prediction.
And I'm going to say... somebody's gonna fire Bethenny up over something, and she's gonna have her moment. I'll say maybe like 2 episodes of the 3 she'll be a pretty cool customer, and 1 episode she's gonna be really fired up.
I agree with you on that completely. Okay. I was gonna say I think Bethenny's gonna be really cool, calm and collected, and she's gonna like handle all the situations, whether it's with you or Heather, really calmly. But one thing's gonna get her, and it's...
Who do you think it's gonna get her? Who do you think's gonna get her?
Ooh. I think it's going to be Ramona firing her up. It's going to be Ramona.
So? Me too.
I would say Ramona or Heather.
Remember, they rewatch all these little scenes, and
yes, they
pisses
see
them off
everything
again.
all over again. So I
Yeah.
would say, I mean, I don't really think for the most part, from what it seemed like, she didn't really care about Heather.
Right.
So I can't really see Heather doing something that would piss her off enough to get her upset. So that's why I feel like it's got to be Ramona, or it's got to be someone.
Or it's got to be Kristen.
I can't wait to my prediction. I just got a really good prediction.
Oh, I wish I could tell you. It's killing me.
I think Luann and Carole are going to rip each other's heads off about Adam, and because that's what I think is the root of it all. Luann's always mentioning his age. She's mad because it was the niece's ex-boyfriend, period. And I think Sonja's going to see how everyone spoke about her all season, and she's going to go give it to them.
Dorinda Heather, huge fight. I see it.
Really?
Huge fight. Dorinda all season has been just like. It's like everything, something inside of her
Brewing.
just does not like Heather, and it's brewing,
Yeah.
So, and she's going to fire up. I really think we're going to see a lot of Dorinda drama. All right, so where can we find it? Starting with Megan, where can we find you?
Okay, guys, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'll maybe get on that this week. Everything's at Megan Stecher.
And this is Lyndsey here. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner, or my blog, lyndsey-wegner.blogspot.com.
Fern Ronay here, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fern Ronay.
Kristen, where can we find you?
Kristen Taekman, all of them, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And definitely check out bravo.com to read my blog for the recap on all of it tonight.
And hopefully physically here next week.
Yes, I hope so.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
And this is Ashley. You can find me on Twitter at Ashley Daniels, Periscope, Ashley Daniels. And we will see you next week for the reunion, part 1 of 3. I think we get 3, hopefully.
I think so.
Yes, woo!
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
bye guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.